Hey everyone, Dylan here with the Steezy Joe Network. We are in beautiful Zermatt. That's the Matterhorn right behind me here. And we're going to kick off our drill series with a drill I like to call the long radius retraction drill with a T posture variation. This drill is going to allow us to get a bit of a projection from our inside hip to set direction in our turn, and then a retraction from our inside hip in the shaping phase of the turn. And we're going to use a T posture to test and see. It's a self-coaching drill, so we'll be able to see if we're banking or not. And this will give us a really good idea if we're staying square in the fall line with our hips and using a true retraction of the inside hip in the shaping phase of the turn.
Okay, in step 1 of this drill, you will see Dylan project his inside half towards the apex of the turn. This sets the direction his body is going to travel to the apex so that the top of the turn is nice and round, and it sets up his body to have power at step 2. Projecting our inside half puts us in a position where we can now perform a retraction move that will square our hips up to the fall line and direct power to the outside ski. In this photo, you can see where Dylan has retracted his inside foot and lifted the tail of the ski off the ground. This is because he is retracting his foot, his knee, his hip, his shoulder, the whole inside half towards his center. You will feel a burn here in your hamstring as you pull the heel up towards your glutes. The retraction move has now set us up to move through the corridor with our hips square to the fall line. This body position allows us to use all our joints, the ankle, the knees, and the hips, all together to absorb the forces that the hill will throw at us. We pass through the corridor using leg rotation to steer, and then we can begin again by projecting our hips to the next apex to start the next turn. Let's watch Dylan demo this on the hill.
Crossing the fall line, neutral stance. Projection, retraction. Projection, retraction, square the hips, the fall line. Projection, retraction, square the hips. Projection, retraction, square the hips.
In this slow motion demonstration, notice the good upper body posture throughout the drill, and notice how through the retraction phase, the tails of the ski follow the tips through the arc of the turn, while the hips remain square to the fall line. Okay, now let's take a look at a bad demo of what you don't want to see when doing this drill. A quick note about safety though. Notice how Dylan is waiting for traffic to pass by before starting this drill. Always use caution when performing any drill, and always abandon the drill if your safety is in question, even in the slightest. Safety first.
Okay, everyone, here's your bad example. So leaning away from the fall line, banking. Leaning away from the fall line, banking. Leaning away from the fall line, banking. Hips are not square. Leaning away from the fall line, banking.
Okay, here are some final thoughts about this drill. Number 1, always be safe. Do this drill when there's no traffic around to avoid collisions. Number 2, don't rush it. Take time between each step and focus on getting the movements right. We are doing this in a long radius turn so that your brain has time to reset and relax after each step. This will allow you to feel each step on its own without blending them together. That comes later. Number 3, have fun with it. And let us know in the comments if you tried the drill, what it felt like for you, and whether or not it helped in any way. We always want to hear from you. Number 4, hey, we are releasing this on the day of the first Mogul competition in Ruka, Finland. All of us here at the home base want to wish Dylan and our good friend Matteo the best of luck in their competition in Ruka. We are rooting for you guys. And number 5, finally, stay tuned for the next video in the bump drill series coming up next week, where we will feature a drill we are calling the ICO drill. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Alright, we are recording. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, all right. Okay. Hey everyone, Dylan here with the Steezy Joe Network. We are in beautiful Zermatt. That's the Matterhorn right behind me here. And we're gonna kick off our drill series with a drill I like to call the long radius retraction drill with a Cut.
Came down on a silver